For hole 1, nothing has changed. We're going to be doing 5 top spin with 1 right spin, and you're going to set up at the plus 6 yard mark. You will then over adjust your shot with a plus 5% over adjustment at max distance of your club. So again, it's plus 5% elevation at max distance, set up at the plus 6 yard mark, and then you're going to do slight baby curl to the right. For the second shot, we're going to be playing with the Horizon. If you have a Horizon 6, check the link in the description below at the notes to see how we are playing 6. It plays a little bit differently. You're going to be playing 2 left spin with 6 top spin, red ring just over the rough, ball guide going to the hole. You're going to be playing this at max distance with a minus 10% elevation. Max distance is at the 12 yard mark. Every 3 yards that you are below the 12 yard mark, you are going to take off 0.1 from your adjustment. So if you were at the plus 1, you would play max distance minus 10% minus 0.4 from your adjustment. So again, every 3 yards, you're going to take off 0.1 from your adjustment. For hole 2, this is the position that you need to have your quarterback. That green ring is just going to be just over the fringe line, and your ball guide tracing to the right edge of the hole. The shot will be coming up next, but I just wanted to give you a screenshot of the position of what you need to look for. That green ring is going to be just over the rough, and the ball guide going just to the right edge of the cup. We're going to be playing with 1 backspin and 1 left spin. Again, take a screenshot of that position before the shot to see how to position. My green ring is going to be just over the rough line. My ball guide is going to be tracing to the right edge of the cup, and then I'm going to go straight and then push up my ball guide until it kicks out. Once it kicks out, I'm going to pull at a slight 1201 pull angle at 0% elevation at min distance of your quarterback. If you don't have the higher clubs, you're going to do what we have in the document notes and not attempt this. But if you do have the clubs, you are basically going to just blast it down the fairway. A Thor 6, Thor 7 is going to get you down there further. If you do not have a Thor 6 and only a big topper, I don't believe you can get the second shot that I'm going to be showing you. So again, you're just going to be aiming down the middle and blasting it down with a Zerk. This is setting me up for a very, very risky shot on the second shot. I am going for the Albatross. If you do not have these clubs, I would not try this. If you have a Guardian 8 or 9, I would suggest if you want to try and do it, go ahead. You're going to do max right spin with 4 backspin. Here I did 4 and a click and it was too much, so I narrowed it down to 4 backspin. I just haven't gotten the aim point right yet. It's basically going to be right before the second dark row before the pin, and then your second bounce is going to be on the fringe line there. You're going to adjust your shot with a max distance with a plus 15% over adjustment, and your curl is going to be the outside of the ball touching the outside of the ring. Here is a very risky shot. If you underpower this shot, you will go into the sand, so you got to be very careful on this shot. So again, this is what I'm trying to do for hole 3. For hole 4, if you have an APOC 4, you're going to be using 5 topspin. If you have an APOC 5 or 6, you're only going to be using 4 topspin with 1 right spin. You're basically going to aim just down the middle of the fairway here, just off the sand bunker, and adjust your shot at max distance with a plus 10% over adjustment, and then just take a regular shot. If you pull into overpower with the APOC 4, I would do slight overpower, but you really don't have to because I have yet to go too short on this shot. At the end of the video, I do have yardage numbers and slider percentages for you. Here you're going to be playing at the slider of your club at 0% elevation. The trick is to make sure that your ball guide is going through the hole to the left edge of the hole. Your red ring is going to be either touching the bunker or just off the bunker. It depends on where you are at on the fairway. But that ball guide needs to be going on the left edge, upper part, and through, because if you are just going to the hole, it's not going to make it. It needs to be going through the hole. So again, 0% elevation at the slider of your club. Also, you want to make sure that you pull at an 1159 pull angle. If your yardage isn't on the table, you're going to do plus or minus 2.5% per yard. For hole 5, there are 2 wind angles. If you have the straight wind, you're going to be pulling at an 1159 pull angle. If you are having a wind that goes from right to left, you're going to be pulling at a 1201 pull angle. You're going to be doing 1 backspin with 0.5 left spin. Your green ring is going to be just off the rough and your ball guide going just to the hole. So make sure that that green ring is just off the rough line and then your ball guide traipsing to the hole. Then see what wind angle you are. Here it was more of a straight wind, so I pulled at an 1159 pull angle. You're going to be playing at plus 5% at 20% slider for any quarterback that you are using. Again, it's going to be plus 5% elevation at 20% slider. Again, if you have a straight wind where you're pulling straight down, pull at an 1159 pull angle. If you have a wind going from right to left, you're going to be pulling at a slight 1201 pull angle. For hole 6, you're going to be using 2 left spin with 3 top spin. The higher the wind, the less top spin you are going to use. So here I backed off the top spin since it was almost a 6-mile-an-hour wind. Your white ring is going to be near the rough line, and then you're going to count 22 rings, or basically where the dark and light meet, that's where your ball guide's going to be. Your curl is going to be just outside the triangle. You're going to do full overpower and a full slice. So again, take screenshots if you need to for where the ball guide usually ends up. We've noticed that usually every time we've counted the 22 rings that ball guide is where the light and dark patch meet. At the end of the video, I do have yardage numbers for you for your slider. Here you're going to be going as almost max top spin and a little bit of side spin to get you to the hole. You want to make sure that that red ring is only halfway over the rough. Your ball guide going to the right edge of the hole. So here my red ring is just halfway through the rough. My ball guide is going to the right edge of the hole, and I'm going to pull at the slider number provided and 0% elevation. You want to make sure that you pull at a slight 1201 pull angle too. So make sure that that red ring is halfway into the rough, or more than likely you will miss the shot. If your yardage number is not on the chart, you're going to do 2% plus or minus per yard of the last number. For hole 7, we're going to be going to the left. You're going to be doing max right spin with 5 top spin and 5 top spin only. You're going to be adjusting at max distance with a plus 20% over adjustment, and you're going to use a half a ball of curl. Your red ring is going to be next to the rough, and then you will adjust your shot. Plus 20% at max distance, half a ball of curl. With this drive, I've noticed from 360 to 365, I'm playing at 25% slider of my club. You can only do this with a Grizzly 8 and 9, I believe. You're going to do 2 right spin with 5.5 backspin. You are then going to basically find the funnel, jiggle it back and forth here, and then you're going to adjust your shot at 25% slider with a plus 20% over adjustment of your shot. So you want to make sure you know the slider percentage of your club. So it's basically just kind of look to see where your slider is, but around 360 to 365 it plays 25% club with a plus 20% over adjustment of your shot, 5.5 backspin and 2 right spin. If you don't have a ball guide, my member Tennille has provided us with a different type of shot. You're going to be using a thorn. You're going to be playing this at max distance with a plus 15% over adjustment of your shot minus 0.1. So notice how her ball guide is going to the hole. It's a very hard shot. So here, take screenshots if you need to, but she does play this at max distance with a plus 15% over adjustment minus 0.1 of her shot. So thank you to Neil for providing us with this shot. A big shout out to my member Henry. He took a Golf Clash Tommy shot and tweaked it, and it is going very well. You're going to be doing a quarterback 9 or 10 only. It will not work for a quarterback 8. You can use a rocket instead. I just don't know the exact positioning for a rocket. You're going to be doing your yellow ring at the plus 2 yard mark touching the rough, and your red ring is going to be touching the dark line. You're going to adjust your shot at max distance with a plus 5% elevation, and you're going to pull at a slight 1201 pull angle. So again, it's plus 5% elevation at max distance of your shot, yellow ring touching the fairway at the plus 2 yard mark. For hole 9, if you do not have the bigger clubs, you're going to be using a big topper. Max top spin, a little bit of left spin, and then you're going to be aiming down the center of the fairway. You're going to over adjust your shot with a plus 15% over adjustment, and then you're going to push up to max. You're going to use about 3 rings of overpower. The lower the wind, the more overpower you can use, but you just need to be careful. So I'm using about 3 to 4 rings of overpower here. Great left is okay. Great right puts you in a position where you might have to curl around the trees. For the second shot, you're going to be using a plus 5% elevation at max distance of your club. Here, I basically did full top spin with a little bit of left spin. What I should have done is pushed up 2 rings after my adjustment. So see, as I push here, how the ball guide kicks out, that's how many rings I need to push up after my adjustment. So I didn't push up any rings here because I was playing on the safe side just to get my eagle. But if I wanted to go for the albatross, I should have pushed up 2 rings to where that ball guide kicked out. That's where you kind of want to get aggressive with this shot. So watch where your ball guide kicks out to the hole. That's how many rings you want to push up after your shot if you are further back on the drive. So again, guys, thank you so much for the love and the support. I hope this update helps you guys out. Bogey Queen did very well. And remember, guys, hit perfect and good luck this weekend.